Good morning, everybody. It is 8:20 a.m. Seattle time, or West Coast time. And I'm logged on to give you guys an update. I want to first tell everybody what happened yesterday. So I need you to share this video. Please share it, because I need as many people as possible to be aware of what's happening with my daughter, so that you that have children and grandchildren and that are guardians of teenagers will be aware too. So I need you to share this video, please, with as many people as possible. I need you to click the share button. So I want to first make it very clear that the purpose of this video is not to exploit any other child that is involved in this situation. I will handle that on the legal level at the police station. I will not mention what school my daughter goes to. If you know what school she goes to, I'm asking that you don't put it in the comments right now. I have to handle that in a different way. The purpose of this video is to inform you of what's happening with our teenagers, to let you know what happened with Sabrina yesterday, the update on her, and to solicit your prayers. Yesterday, I got a phone call from the school. The school nurse called me. They let me know that Sabrina had vomited. Okay, mommy, I see your text. Sabrina had vomited in school, in the hallways. That's all I knew at the time. The school nurse told me that her heart rate was beating rapidly. So they told me to hurry up and get up there. I got to the school, picked her up. She just said she had a stomach ache. So I thought nothing of it. I'm like, okay, it's a stomach ache. She threw up. That's a good thing. She got whatever the virus is out. I go to the store. I tell her, go in the Rite Aid, get you some ginger ale or a Coke or whatever. She called me like 3 times in the store. I didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, she can't find the ginger ale. Later, of course, she tells me this because she got lost in the store. But I wasn't in there to witness this. Okay, but it explained why she called me so many times in the store. So anyway, she comes out. She's like, mommy, my stomach hurts. I take her home. I tell her to lay down for the rest of the day. I have an appointment, so I leave her in the bed. I'm headed to my appointment. I get a phone call from the school. The assistant principal says, make sure you watch her and ask her, did she take some gummies and did she take some ibuprofen? So immediately, before I go into my appointment, I call Beanie back. I'm like, hey, are you asleep? And she's like, no. I'm feeling really funny. I notice she starts talking really funny. Her speech is slurred. She's not herself. She's not talking the same, like the way she was just talking in the car about 15 minutes previously. I rush home, okay? I get in her room. She is completely out of it. It is the scariest thing to see your child not be themselves. Okay, so I noticed that her pupils are dilated. Her eyes are open really big. She's scared. She's nervous. I'm trying to play it calm because I'm just like, I don't know what exactly is going on yet. I don't know what she took. All she can remember is that she ate some gummy bears. And the thing about Beanie is she loves candy, so that didn't seem odd to me. And I know about the gummies that are laced with THC. So I'm hoping she told me she ate one. But if I know Beanie and she thought it was regular candy, she had like a whole bag of them. So that's all she can remember. She tells me she ate a whole bag of gummies. So I don't want to scare her. I know that they've been laced. I call paramedics. Paramedics get to the house. They don't see that her issue is serious enough to transport her to the hospital. So I'm already upset, but I got to stay calm because she's freaking out. Hey, Jay. So I take her myself. I go get in the car while the fire truck is outside in front of my house. I get in the car because I am not at peace. And I know this girl took something. I know that whatever it was something in my gut. It was a combination of my gut. It was mixed with my experience in working with addicts and knowing when something is not right. So the fact that they didn't feel like it was serious enough, even though her heart rate was through the roof, I got a problem with that. But I'll deal with that on a whole nother level. I'll deal with the paramedics. Anyway, I get to the doctor's office. Sabrina can barely walk. She's wobbling. She doesn't know where she is. She's going in and out of euphoric feelings. So she's delusional. She starts to hallucinate. I tell her to sit down next to a lady. She automatically gets scared of the lady. Like, she was fine at first, but then 5 minutes later, she comes up behind me while I'm trying to get her checked in at the hospital, and she's like, I don't want to sit next to her. I don't know who she is. Now, if y'all know Beanie, she don't talk like that. She don't act like that. That was not her. And I knew it wasn't her. So they tell me her heart rate is really high. Her blood pressure is really high. We check her in. We get her in a room. She's still, like, totally off. So they hook her up to an IV. They get all of this down. Yes, please share it, because I need everybody to know what's going on and what to look for. Share this video. So she's hooked up to an IV. And then what happens? Her body, she says her body is still tingly. It feels like she's walking on clouds. I'm like, okay, she's high. But her brain was doing crazy stuff. Like, it was, y'all, I'm telling you, it was so crazy. So once they get her blood pressure and her heart rate down, they basically release her from the hospital. I'm still not satisfied, because I know something is not right. Basically, they tell me that she was just in a she just had an episode of a mind-altering state. Well, yeah, duh, but from what? And I need you to tell me from what. So I told them, yes, Gloria, I told them she took the gummies. They didn't find anything in her urine. They didn't find anything in her blood. So I start thinking, okay, I'm going to have to do my own investigation, obviously, and then go to the police station in the morning. Cool. We get released from the hospital. We get in the car. We go home. She doesn't remember anything that happened during the day. She doesn't remember me picking her up from school. She doesn't remember going to the hospital. She never remembered the nurse. Every time the nurse came in, she was like, who are you? You know, what else happened? We got home. I had a drink in the car that she had tasted earlier that she was just like, this is nasty. But then when we got in the car, she was like, oh, this is good. So I'm putting these pieces together. Like, she don't even remember drinking this juice earlier. It was bananas. When I tell y'all I was scared, and I understand is this still a good connection? Can y'all hear me? Because my phone is telling me it's a bad connection, and I want to make sure y'all are hearing everything I'm saying. Somebody please tell me y'all are still connected to me. Okay, thank you, Tia. So we get we get home. She doesn't remember anything that happened during the day. Now, during the time we were in the hospital, I left her phone in the car because I didn't want her to be distracted. I wanted her to try to get her rest and focus on what was going on. When I finally get her phone back, she's seeing all these missed messages from all her friends from school. So I'm like, let me see the messages. The messages are kids checking on her to see how she's doing. So I'm coaching her through what to say. I'm like, okay, stay friendly. Don't tell them too much of your business. Just say, just ask them what happened to you earlier. So she's asking the friend, what happened to me? They're telling her that she was acting like she was tweaking at school. They say, we were trying to hold you down. You ran down the hall. You threw up in the hallway. You were acting weird. You were acting crazy. So she's freaking out in the car. She starts crying because she's like, Mommy, I don't remember. So I'm trying to keep her calm because she needs to get the information. I need a name. I need to know what you took and anything they know. So she's asking them what happened. 3 or 4, I think 4 different friends text her the same thing and the name of the person, the name of the classmate that gave her these pills. Okay, so here's the part that is information for you. She was told that she took some gummies, which I mentioned early. Thank you, Ramon, and I see all of you saying you're praying. I appreciate it. I love you, Ivan. Thank you. So she took some gummies. And then they told her, you took some C's. Okay? The letter C, apostrophe S. Immediately I say, to ask them, what is that? One classmate says, I don't know, but it's something for cough and cold. So I'm like, okay, cool. I get my phone and I start Googling what C's are. It's, I want to say it's pronounced chlorocidin, if I remember correctly. Okay? So, Dominic, I'm going to tell you how she's doing on the live video. I can't inbox nobody else. I'm about to tell all of y'all how she doing in 1 second. So anyway, she starts crying because she says, I don't remember taking the C's. So she asked her friend, how many did I take? I said, ask them how many you took. They say, you took 8. Okay. So I'm Googling what C's are. The side effects are vomiting, nausea, hallucinations, dysphoria, euphoria, both. Euphoria, delusional, and then it could also lead to seizures, coma, brain damage. Okay? So I'm freaking out. One, because I know one gummy can get you high. She had about 7 gummies, 6 or 7 gummies, and 8 of these C's pills. So y'all do the math. The testimony in all of this is that she's not in a coma right now, because she should be, but she's not. And y'all excuse me if I get emotional, but I'm angry, I'm hurt, and I'm scared for my baby. I'm glad she's still alive. We're keeping a close eye on her. There's somebody at the house right now that's keeping an eye on her. But I made her eat when we got in the house. She still couldn't remember anything. She has experienced all of the side effects except for the seizure and death, of course. There is some brain damage. So here's the part. So the update is, I let her sleep through the night. I made her go to sleep. Before she went to sleep last night, she had another episode. She was getting better. It seemed like she was coming back this way. But then it's like she lost it. She went crazy. She was hallucinating. Yesterday I had my hair big and curly, but she thought that my hair was growing. And she was like sitting back looking at me like this, like she was scared. So I'm staying calm, and I'm just like, Beanie, it's mommy, it's cool. She was like, your hair is growing right before my eyes. Like, y'all, I'm telling you, this stuff is dangerous. A friend of mine FaceTimed. I said, hey, it's your uncle on FaceTime. So she doesn't know who he is. She says, mommy, who is that? So I tell her who it is. She's like, oh, okay. Then she starts telling me how cute he is. I'm like, oh God, when she finds out what she said about him, she's going to flip out. But y'all, I'm just saying that to say she didn't know. She didn't remember anything. She didn't remember being at the hospital. She doesn't know what happened in school. She doesn't remember me picking her up. She thought she walked home. The hallucinations were crazy. She started making funny noises. Like she was tweaking for real. Like it was scary. Her eyes are her pupils are dilated, so it looks like, you ever see those movies like the demonic people, their eyes look black, jet black? That's how big her pupils are. So after the episode, I tried to wait till she calmed down. I gave her some food so she could eat something, settle her stomach, drink a lot of water. I told her she had to calm down. You know, I'm having normal conversations because I'm trained to deal with those who are under the influence. So I'm trying to use my skill and be mommy at the same time. So y'all can only imagine how scary this is for me. So I'm trying to stay calm. I love you, Dustin. I'm trying to stay calm, and I'm just like, okay, you know, I'm having conversations. She's asking questions. She's acting weird, and I'm just like, okay, Beanie, well, it's time to lay down. It's time to go to sleep. Okay, babe, you gotta go to sleep. Things that she thought was there, I was like, that's not real. It's not real. Like she saw a heart in her glass. Like she was seeing things in her glass. And I'm sorry. So this morning, I let her sleep. She said she woke up at like 1. She was up from 1 to 2, just staring at the ceiling. So she went back to sleep. So I didn't want to wake her up last night because if you know anything about drugs and being under the influence, they're unpredictable. And I didn't know how she would react, if she would jump or be scared. So I let her sleep. So I went in. I don't even have. Oh, I got a napkin to wipe my face. I'm sorry, y'all. So I let her sleep. So this morning I went up to check on her, and she's still high. She's still high. She took these drugs about 12:30, I want to say, maybe 12:30 p.m. yesterday. It's 8:30 a.m. over here. So she's still high. Her eyes are still dilated heavily. Her eyes are still jet black, so her pupils are that big, like you can't see. I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about, but look it up. Her eyes are super dilated. She said that her body is tingling. She can't feel her fingers and toes, which is a side effect. When I ask her how she's doing, I'll always ask, okay, is it in your body or your brain? Because I want her to give me details of like what she's feeling. And right now it's in her body. After doing my research on the C's, it's a pill called the C's. It does say that the lifespan, it may take like, I think me and my friend Crystal were looking it up. I think she said 50% of it will be out of her system in a couple days. So like maybe the end of today or tomorrow. So I do expect her to have 1 or 2 more episodes, but I'm also expecting for it to slowly just kind of go away, like basically get out of her system. So she may have another moment of hysteria, or psychosis is the word we use in the field. But right now she's at home laying down and still feeling tingly. So that lets me know that she's still high. And her pupils are an indication that she's still high. Right now, my thing is, I wanted you guys to be aware of what's out there and the side effects and how serious it is. Whatever she took, 1 gummy and 1 pill would have gave her a high. She took 6 gummies, 8 pills. Now let me explain. They told her she took 8 pills. This is my conclusion on what happened, because if you know Beanie, she did not just like sit up and take 8 pills. She just wouldn't do that. They gave her an IV. Dorima, no, that's all they did. My conclusion is that since the doctors didn't do their investigation, this is my conclusion. She took the gummies. 1 already makes you high, but she had about 6 that she can remember. So let's just say it was at least 6. She's already out of her mind. She's having an out-of-body experience. What happens is these gummies give her a headache. She deals with headaches often anyway. So I think that she asked for, because one thing she said when I picked her up was, all I took was ibuprofen. She thinks that she took medicine for her headache. Now, she took 2 ibuprofen, which were the C's, right? She got them for from her friend. She thought she took them out of her book bag, but I think her friend switched up some stuff, gave her the C's. But because I also know her short-term memory is messed up, I believe that she forgot that she took 2, and she did that 4 times. That is honestly what I believe happened, because I witnessed her memory go. Like from the time I picked her up from school and got home, and when I got home, she asked me how she got home. we live driving. We live literally 2 minutes from the school. She walks every morning. She can get there in 5 minutes. So I'm driving and we get home and she's saying, how did I get here? So I believe that she took 2 ibuprofen thinking they were for her headache from the gummies. And she took 2 more 4 times or 3 more times. And that's how she finished 8 of them. When I looked it up, they come 8 in a pack. So apparently this classmate of hers had packs of the C's and gave Sabrina a pack. So this is where I need y'all to pray. And I know y'all have been praying. I feel your prayers. I feel your prayers because I need your strength. Because I got to be strong for her. But also so this is the thing. There's definitely brain damage. Okay, Crystal, I see your text. Thank you. There's definitely brain damage. Okay, y'all. What I need you all to pray is that the brain damage is not permanent. Because there is brain damage. There's nothing we can do about that. It's already happened. Pray that the brain damage is not permanent. I need you guys to pray that her memory comes back. Because, right now I can only rely off of what her classmates are telling her happened. She doesn't remember anything. She doesn't remember coming home last night. She doesn't remember her friends spending the night. I'm glad she knows my face. But like I said, when my friend FaceTimed her, she didn't know who he was. So, I'm trying to keep it together on this live. I need you guys to be aware. If you guys are parents, grandparents, if y'all got nieces, nephews, anything, share this video. Tell them not to take candy from anybody at school. Don't take candy. Don't take gum. Heck, don't share a pencil. Take your own pen and pencils. I don't trust nothing. I don't trust nobody. Talk to your kids. Leave the line of communication open. Now, there are some kids that are doing this stuff on purpose. I don't believe Beanie did this on purpose. And I believe with all my heart it was an accident and she didn't know. If you know your kids, you know when they lying. But whether your children do this intentionally or by accident, you got to open the lines of communication and allow them the opportunity to talk to you about it so that you're aware. Because if you're jumping down their throat at the beginning, then they won't tell you anything. Once she knew what happened by me telling her what happened, she thought she was going to be in trouble. She's afraid to go back to school because she's embarrassed. I got a text from one of her other friends who took a couple of pills, not half as much as Sabrina took. But the friend that took some was texting me last night, telling me that she felt a little dizzy, a little hazy. Her mom kind of blew her off. So I need to call this girl's mother and let her know how serious this is. Don't blow your kids off. I don't care how dramatic you feel they're being. I mean, if they end up being dramatic, then so be it. I know a lot of kids cry wolf. But whatever. Go through the process every time. If you sense anything different, I don't care what it is, investigate it. Let them feel like you're going over the top. Because you never know. You never know what happened. So investigate, ask questions, make sure your kid is not passing out pills at school or candy, and making sure they're not taking anything from anybody. Please. I've already had this conversation with Beanie. I will have to have it again because she doesn't remember anything I told her yesterday. But I'm going to keep repeating it. Her short-term memory is jacked up right now. But I'm believing God that it will come back. That I'm believing God that her memory will be restored. That her brain damage. Hold on, y'all. Sorry. Okay, Damien, I see your text. that her brain be dismissed. I think that's the school calling me, but I will call them back. I'm going to deal with them. I'll deal with the school. So I'm letting y'all know I'm going to the police station when I get off live. I'm going to file a police report. And because somebody needs to be held accountable. There are 2 names that I have. Both of them need to be held accountable. And I pray that justice be served with both of them. Because they don't need to go back to school. They just don't. I'm sorry. But y'all pray for Beanie. Not just her physical well-being, but her emotions, her mental state of mind. Like I said, she don't want to go back to school. She's embarrassed. And the girl that texted me last night said that the kids at school are already calling her a crackhead. Beanie does not know that. And I don't plan on... Okay, Jay. Thank you. I don't plan on telling her that. So you have to know, you gotta be wise in moments of emergency. You gotta be wise. So I'm not gonna I'm not gonna tell her that what they're saying about her, because that's not important right now. I just want her to be okay. Exactly, Holly. She could have been dead by now. She could have been seasoned. She could have been in a coma, but she is still alive. So that is the update. Continue to keep her in prayer. I will continue to post. And I know some people are like, why are you telling all your business? No, I'm going to tell because people need to know about what's happening. I took a couple videos of her last night, and I plan to show her eventually once she's out of this whole episode so she can see how she was acting. I hope that this keeps her away from that lifestyle. I hope it's a lesson learned for everybody even watching. So this is difficult. My husband is out the country because his grandmother passed. So I'm relying on friends that are here to kind of get me through it as I care for Beanie. I think that's it. I think I've told you everything. I wanted to update y'all about her and also let you know about the candy. They are gummies. She thought she was eating gummies, regular gummies. And the C's, which are also known, the letter C is also known as corticetin. It's a cold and cough medicine. They also on the street, they call it candy. They call it Skittles. It's a lot of street names. Google it. Educate yourself. Don't be ignorant. Don't just blow it off and think that your kid won't be involved in something like this. So Google it. Be aware of what's out there. Y'all need to know what's in these schools so y'all can educate, not just educate yourself, but be able to educate the kids. You know, tell them don't take nothing. Stay alert at all times. Be over the top if you have to. You know, keep the lines of communication open so they can talk to you about it. I know I've set it up so Sabrina can talk to me about anything. If she did something bad, I think she fears lying to me worse than telling me the truth and getting in trouble. So you gotta make sure your kids are able to talk to you and tell you stuff. So yes, I know, Sierra, that's what I'm saying. I know they use C